Now, 1 in 4 of all NHS staff here in the South East is from overseas, highlighting the pivotal role of international recruitment in keeping the health service afloat. For the latest in our series on immigration, we examine why the country has become so reliant on an international workforce. But first, our health correspondent, Mark Norman, meets some of the overseas staff working in the NHS.
Sure, thank you.
Nearly a decade ago, Rashan was in the back of a lorry trying to get to the UK. She was 17 and on her own. Last year, she qualified as a state-registered nurse in the NHS, but she does understand that not everyone will be happy with how she got here.
There's some aspect that people doesn't accept my story, or doesn't accept the way how I came. And let's say, especially you see in the social media is always the word illegal, and that's kind of alarming to people to think that I'm a criminal person trying to do something. And but that didn't stop me in a way of like what I wanted to achieve.
Rashan is in the minority. Most NHS staff are British, but a significant minority are not, and here in the South East, around 25% are from overseas. The majority of those overseas staff arrived more formally than Rashan did, many with qualifications and experience. Dr Romani is from Italy, where he qualified. He's been in the NHS 7 years, treating some of the sickest patients as a cardiologist. He has the skills the NHS needs, but over the years he's had to learn some of the quirks of the English language.
So the interaction with people when you come here is I think is the biggest barrier. Not because people are bad or what. No, that's not the case. But I didn't tell you about spending a penny. That was a disaster. That was the first time I got told that. It was a patient. She was super funny. It's like, doctor, I need to go and spend a penny. Like, on what? So once that got clarified, we were able to proceed. But as you can see, I mean, it might sound funny, but there and then, as a health professional that is basically sitting in front of you, trying to understand what's going on, that throws you off a bit. It's like, oh my God, I don't have a grip over this. What is this person saying?
So you've been here 1 month?
Yeah, just for 1 month.
Overseas staff are employed across a whole range of NHS departments, including the bits we don't usually see, such as facilities management.
So basically I'm from India and I chose UK to doing my master's. So I moved to UK on May 2023. It's been 2 years and I chose NHS because after that I was keep applying for the job. So I found NHS the best opportunity for me to modify my skills and even to grasp more knowledge.
Yep. Are you reaching the end?
After qualifying as a nurse in 2009, Joanne Cabiguen left the Philippines for a job in the NHS. She now works as a theatre practitioner and says working in the UK health service is her dream.
Back home, I'm just earning a meager, say, 75 to 90 pounds a month, which is not very much. So a friend invited me to fly in to try UK, and I was like, why not? It's my dream. Okay, I don't know if I will land that job, but I got it, so here I am.
Well, all of that seems quite positive, I suppose, but I have heard it said that all we're doing is raiding the healthcare systems of other countries so we can get the doctors and nurses we need. While some experts say that's simply not sustainable.
So certainly there is a moral question. There are some safeguards put in place to try to stop active recruitment from countries where we might harm their health service if we recruited from. We still get some people applying from those countries, so that is a cost to those countries and potentially loss of valuable assets to them. It looks increasingly like they're a more mobile workforce, so potentially using the UK as a stepping stone to go to other countries still. So there's even a practical reason for the NHS about why it might not be wise in the long term to be so reliant on overseas staff.
NHS trusts have systems in place to attract the best staff, to make them welcome, and to both keep them and help them progress in their careers. What would the NHS be like if they weren't there, I suppose would be an interesting question.
I think that's a great question. This is a talent pipeline of highly experienced, highly skilled staff, and it's absolutely key for us to be able to have that talent pipeline, to be able to make sure that we are filling our vacancy gaps and really providing the best patient care that we possibly can for the community in which we serve.
The Department of Health and Social Care has told us that the NHS has always drawn on talent from around the world and that the service is stronger for it, but says the government was also committed to developing homegrown talent and giving opportunities to more people across the country to join the NHS.